All right. This is one of my favorite times of the week. One, get a chance to talk to Natalie. That's always great. You never know what Natalie's gonna say. So what's up? And that's a compliment, by the way. That's a compliment. Because some people you don't know what some people you don't know what they're gonna say and be like, okay, I ain't trying to hear this. But Natalie, you always have some good stuff to say, some provocative things. Provocative, just really makes us think a little bit more and think in some different ways, in different directions. So that's a compliment to you. So that's one, this time of week. We'll always talk with Natalie. And two, it's the comment section. And Natalie, I got to tell you, I was a consumer. I was a consumer on Wednesday. I was not here. So I'm watching and listening to the show just like anybody else on Sirius XM, Channel 85, Peacock TV, YouTube, wherever you're consuming podcasts. I was doing that too. And I thought it was just a beautiful conversation, multi-layered conversation from a number of perspectives, some smart people weighing in on Ed Reed and Bethune-Cookman. And I know our commenters have a lot to say about it. Ed Reed and Bethune-Cookman came to an agreement. Ed did the IG, said his office was dirty. He was cleaning up stuff. Shouldn't have agreed to this. And Bethune-Cookman said, oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. You ain't gonna do this to us. And so they cannot come to a contract. And that's where we are. And having a conversation about Bethune-Cookman, and also HBCUs at large. What do the people have to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, there were hundreds of comments. But I'm going to say this one sort of captured, I think, the overall sentiment by many. Listen to the students. They are validating that there are some serious problems at BCU. And then they just thought Ed was trying to shine a spotlight on it, even if, and many did acknowledge he may have not went about it in the best way. But ultimately, they think he was shining an important light. And then also here, this person brings up Dion did the same thing with JSU. So I have actually two questions I want to pose to you. But
okay,
what I want to say is the reason I think the Jason sound before we started was so important is because he pointed out these are two distinct issues. And even Michael, you were listening to the show, so you heard him. A lot of things are being conflated. And even Dawn, who was one of the guests, said, we need to be talking more about solutions. Obviously, with 25 minutes, there's only so much we can talk about. But I think that's important because there seems to be a frustration from people saying, y'all are just focused on Ed Reed's behavior and people are mad about Ed Reed's. And that's not just our comments to us. That's sort of a lot of the conversation on social. This is a very polarizing topic. And my question to you is, are we spending too much time criticizing the way that Ed Reed went about this and ignoring the very important issues that the students are raising with the conditions at Bethune-Cookman University? And I want to make this very clear because people are lumping this together with Dion, but these are two different things. And this is yes, we need to be careful not to make this a referendum on HBCUs, right? We know they have their issues. We know that, but that's not what this is about. There's some very specific things going on at BCU, and the students don't seem to feel like their voices are being heard. They felt like Ed Reed was hearing their voices. And so are we not doing enough to talk about it from their perspective?
That's a great question, Natalie. And I'm going to say, no. Have we spent too much time on it? No, we haven't, because I believe that a lot of people have the ability, most people, they don't really call it this, but most people have the ability to multitask. That's how you are a functioning adult in the world. You are able to multitask. You are able to have conversations. You're able to have corporate conversations and personal conversations, serious ones and funny ones. You're able to think about your job and think about what you're going to do later tonight. We're all capable of doing these things. So the fact that we spend some time criticizing Ed Reed and his approach to talking about real issues doesn't take us out of, okay, what about the students? We're doing the same thing. Ed Reed didn't handle it the right way. He didn't. And a lot of people, forget about Bethune-Cookman. If I say to you, Natalie, I have a problem with you. If I have a work issue with you, and we're colleagues. But I put my work issue, I go on IG, which would be something. I don't think I've ever gone IG Live, but wouldn't that be something? My first time going IG Live, I go, hey, let me tell you about Natalie. I'm just going to put it out here. This is crazy. She's using my office at NBC headquarters, NBC Peacock headquarters. She's using my office. I don't appreciate it. All this stuff. So, yeah, I may have an issue, but I did it in the wrong way. Why did he have to do it that way? That's one. Okay, right, got it. Bethune-Cookman, what are they trying to do? They may have handled it the wrong way too. They could have gone to Ed Reed and said, look, there's something in us that made us want to pick you as our head coach. And just because you did it this way doesn't mean we don't want you to be our head coach anymore, but we do want to let you know that this is not how we get down. We could talk about some of these other issues, but we don't like what you did. So a lot of people weren't at their shining best, but the students, I am paying attention to the students at Bethune-Cookman and students at other HBCU institutions. The last thing I'll say, Doc Johnson was on fire during that segment and pointing out that why do we keep talking about Jackson and Bethune-Cookman and even Howard or Hampton? He said there were 106. Y'all know that?
Right.
There are 106 HBCUs. So we ain't just gonna focus on, 2, 3, 4, even a dozen places. This is a larger issue that deserves some deep conversation. We can't do it all, but we're starting the conversation, and nobody else in your mainstream media atmosphere is doing what we're doing.
I wanna play a little devil's advocate. So it wasn't really a second question, but it's very rare that I'm someone who comes down like in the middle of something. I really like when people just take a position.
That's good though. That's good. It's nuance.
Yes.
Nuance.
Yes. But because I'm a lawyer, I've just been trained to look at things like, in a very nuanced way and from both perspectives. And I think of this somewhat in a little bit of a generational way, right? Like the employment lawyer in me is like, what kind of etiquette was this? Like, what did you do? And just the lawyer in me is like, this isn't effective messaging to get across what you want to happen, right? And then I think of myself, not in comparison to the students, but if I just have conversations with my mother and how she gets like upset about certain things. And I'm like, but who cares about all this miscellaneous stuff? Like if someone's cursing or doing this and she's just like, that kind of behavior is inappropriate and missing the bigger purpose of whatever issue is I'm trying to get a point, across to her or whatever's happening in the news. And I think in a generation, and I don't want to lump all students together and people are of different ages, but I think in a generation where a lot of their lives carry out on social media and they go to social media for things, they may not view this the same way that we do, because that is how they get to, right? And so it's kind of like the respectability politics.
And they shouldn't.
They don't care about how he went about it. They care about their
And they shouldn't. And they shouldn't. They should not. I respect. I will ride for the students all day long. The students they're on the ground. They're not doing it for the cameras. They don't have high profile positions. They don't have a direct line of communication. Many of them don't have a direct line of communication with the powers that be. So Ed Reed does represent something for them. He represents disruption. I got it. Good for them. And they don't care because they have other issues that aren't being addressed. They shouldn't care. But Ed Reed should care. Okay. Ed Reed should. And
he believes he does, and they think he does.
Yeah, but at his position, if he really wanted to get things done, and he got to be a little more strategic. He's emotional, even with that Roland Martin interview. He's like, man, I turned down. Hey.
Incredibly.
Hey, come on, bro. Come on. I feel you. I love your passion. I love how much you care about this. But a lot of people are passionate. But we have to be passionate. Like, get your passion. I don't care about respectability politics. I don't, not even for a second. Don't care. I care about getting stuff done. Like my man Lil Rel said, Get Out. I'm TSA. I handle shit. Okay, let's get it done. Let's get it done strategically.
Yeah.
And look at it, like, okay.
Like
so
Dawn
Ed,
said, solutions. Let's talk about solutions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
well,
this is a great topic, and we'll keep going on this. We'll keep going. I mean, I'm saying, like, this is not our last time talking about it.
Right.
We're in it. We're invested. We're not. This is not just a little brother from another drive-by. We're in this thing. What else you got?
So on this Championship Friday preceding Championship Sunday, let's talk a little bit of football. So we had a lot of comments in response to the Joe Burrow and Cincinnati discussion that you guys had earlier in the week, where Michael was like, this is the era of Joe Burrow. You know, it's his time. As one of our commenters said, God is a Bengals fan, you know? And this other comment, this person is basically saying, why is it this thing we do with, you know, he has this kind of help essentially, but Patrick Mahomes doesn't. And he doesn't feel like this kind of talk happened before in the past. And so these are two people who really feel, yes, it is the Bengals era and it's their time. And so what do you have to say to them?
You know what? I'm so glad that we're running out of time. That particular one, it was like such a, I'm going to be inclusive. There was such a straw person being built there. There's a straw person that I'm supposed to go fight with the straw person. All right? No, ain't nobody say that. Ain't nobody say that. All of a sudden, like, oh, why are we talking about? Ain't nobody say that. Who said that?
So you still don't think it's the era of Joe Burrow yet, do you?
We'll see. We'll see. That's a little too soon for that. I want to see some more results. Like I said, Natalie, we got to get things done first before we crown somebody.
That too. They need results.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.